What I found in this process, except for trying to find the truth and why I'm so, I think it has to do with letting go. I want to let go and let the right choreography make itself, instead of me trying to kind of force to discover it. It's more like, I'd like it to be more like archaeology, that I sort of find it, than that I have to be a sculptor and make it. The fact that you need to find a way to transform actual physical existence of sound into something that is tangible, that is really exciting in my head.
Mathematics can't tell you what is the truth. It can tell you that if you make certain assumptions on something, then that has consequences, and you can argue the consequences, you can compute the consequences. Here you have a resonance region. This is in a parameter space. If you would be below this interval, then you would have a 1 to 3 resonance. But if you would move from here to, say here, to this is 1 to 1 resonance.
What I thought was exciting was that my creativity also has a pattern. That way I can make a model in which I can predict that I will make in about 10,000 years.
Mathematics in general contributes to the understanding of things, because you see through so-called facts and appearances, and then you can bring structure in it. And then I could imagine that you can do something that, but you change, sometimes you change a parameter. You change the music a little bit, or you change the light.
The weight
or you change,
of the person, or the
and then they start dancing differently, and then they get from one mode to the other, but you cannot say where the dances will be. Yeah. This is exactly the thing that I have in mind.
You can make a computer program.
Yeah.
Of like, in which you just do the first movement and then it just goes.
I'm looking more and more for systems which compute themselves. I'm not interested in stories anymore, but more in systems. No people, no stories, only machines and calculations.
Of course, calculating this choreography machine now is impossible. But finding a system that will give me an answer as to what should be the next step.
What is the fourth dimension? That was one of the hardest things to understand in all the discussions, and I don't understand it yet. But theoretically, you see every angle of an object. I can do it with my hands. This is one dimension, and this is a second in another three-dimensional space, and those exist next to each other.
The hénon-heiles system is a super toy model for something like the solar system.
But it's also a model which is calculated in 4 dimensions. So it's also a way to not to explain, but to show the 4th dimension.
Scripts for choreographies as they occur in the solar system: periodic, multi-periodic, and chaotic motions. That's what it shows.
So I think if this is position 1, this is position 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, my God, this is really hard with the legs.
If you have a hénon-heiles system, then there basically are 2 oscillators that move. You need of both oscillators a position, say x and y, but you also need the velocities. So you have 4 variables: x, y, x prime, and y prime. That's four variables, and they make together a 4-dimensional space.
And then have one arm, the other arm, one leg and one leg, and make that react to this coordinate.
Dancing is difficult, because dancing, I'm not sure. But then that is at least something that you can make visible. It's very simple choreography.
What if we try to look at inspiration, concept and solution as the theme of the research?
What are the aims and the goals and the objectives of the collaboration and what common ground can you find in it. And that's very hard, but you can only find it by discussing a lot.
Science is aspiring to clarity much more than art is. It's aspiring to simplicity much more than art is. Finding the most simple solution, I could say, would be the most exciting thing in art as well, but I think I would be lying.
But I think that science and art have one great thing in common, namely creating things and finding the right concept, so to speak, to work with. And if you have found that, then sometimes it can grow and something nice can get out of it.